Warning.
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 Warning. You are entering into the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. Too late. Personal Development Unplugged.
Hey, it's Paul here. Personal Development Unplugged. And I want to ask you a question. Serious question. Do you have a dream? One that's a little bit scary, I guess. It's different. It's exciting. Maybe you don't know why you've got this dream, but it's there, burning inside. And if you told people about it, most would say, you can't do that. Why would you want to do something like that? That's crazy. But you got it. You see, I knew this person who had a dream. They had a dream like that. Exciting, scary. Didn't know why. And a lot of people questioned him. Why? Why are you doing it? But it was really exciting to him. He didn't know why. It was weird. It burnt inside him. It just kept going on and on. And after a lot of toing and froing, questioning himself, questioning other different people, but really fighting, I guess, a little bit with his indecision, his fear, other stuff maybe going on. Everything was going in his mind quite weirdly, I guess. He was even his own naysayer. Have you ever been that, your own naysayer? Who are you? Who the bloody hell did you do this? You can't do this. You don't do this type of thing. And then he just couldn't explain what it was all about to others. The pull. The why. And the thing is, to do it, he had to leave his family. Now, I don't mean leave his family forever. I didn't mean anything like that. He had to leave his family initially for a couple of weeks. Travel quite a way, all by himself. And all the way on that travel, he was anxious. He kept thinking about, should he go back? Should he just blow it? He's paid for it, but just blow it. Come back. But it was only 2 weeks. And he kept going. And when he got it, it blew his mind. It blew his mind in the first few hours, let alone the first few days. And then after that, the fuse was lit. Absolutely lit. He began to show his family and friends his new skills, the things he'd learned. And he was desperate to keep learning more and more and more, to find out more, to practice, to do these things that he'd heard about, dreamt about. The naysayers, they were still there, by the way. They were still there. But on the other hand, he was inspired by others to press on. And the challenges, they came along the way on this adventure. There were challenges for other people in this field of learning that he was doing. Now, maybe they were scared. Maybe they were scared of what he was going to do. And they certainly threw a load of obstacles in his way. But he carried on. He fought it. But also, help came from unexpected places. Friends, colleagues. Maybe if there was a few practitioners along the way. Teachers. They just showed up just at the right place or the right time. There was just different things of learning that just happened to be there. And he carried on. Now, what happened to this person, you're going to ask? Well, I hope you're asking. Because it was a journey. It was not only a journey, as I like to say, it's an adventure, but it was like a hero's journey with leaving family, leaving home, going to deal with your challenges, the obstacles along the way, finding mentors, and then coming back home and then to carry on. Well, that person was me, 25 years ago and counting. From knowing absolutely nothing, nada, in NLP hypnosis, and now a trainer of NLP and hypnosis, master practitioner of timeline therapy. Started and have 2 hypnotherapy clinics. Did all sorts of stuff. Actually did trainings abroad. An international trainer. And have helped so many people change their lives, whether it's through the trainings, whether it's get my diction right, whether it's through the hypnotherapy itself, clients in the professional sense, but just helping people when you met them. And I was also helped by 2 of my 3 sons. Come on, like a lisp. 2 of my 3 sons. One is now running one of those clinics all by himself. He's been doing it for a few years now, quite a few years. He is an exceptional therapist, exceptional, getting magical, exceptional results. He's also, when I say magical results, he's also trained himself, all by himself, with a few mentors along the way, to become a magician, a member of the Magic Circle in the UK, which is a high place to get. So a true magician in every sense of the word, creating magical changes. The other son, the younger one, I think he was possibly the youngest NLP trainer in the UK at that time when he got his trainership certificate. And now he's a master trainer. And he had his challenges. Well, in fact, they both had their challenges. The youngest one had the challenges of age. Will people recognize him for the skills that he had? Or would they look at it and say, you're too young? Well, some did, but some didn't. And those who didn't realised how good he was, and he ended up being on primetime TV in the UK, working with people on phobias, primetime TV. And now he probably has the biggest collection of hypnosis tracks on the web. Joseph Clough Hypnosis. Find the app. It's absolutely awesome. And I say that's Joseph, and you've got Luke running the clinics, a magician in all senses of the word. And that dream, that little sparkle that I had 25 years ago and counting. Well, when I say you'll never know how far the ripples have gone, well, I certainly didn't expect to be doing the therapy work, the training work. I wasn't a people person, but I am now, and I have been for years. But those ripples of change in my sons, and the amount of people they have helped, I have helped. And the thing is, by helping people change themselves, they've changed the people around them and the people around them. So as I say, you never know how far the ripples of change go, all from that one little spark and taking action. Not knowing why, but just knowing deep down in your gut it was the right thing to do. Excuse me. And so, what about your dream? Because you've got to remember, overnight successes take quite a bit of time. And it's quite a bit of an adventure. Again, you may come across the naysayers, those people that don't want you to succeed. Maybe because you're challenging their beliefs about themselves. The obstacles, but the mentors that just come along at the right time. Now, they might be in the form of a person, a book, a video, but they just come along. They always come along at the right time. You know, when you're ready, the right teacher will always come along. But you have to take action. Take action on that little pull, that little sparkle, that little bit of intuition where you know that it's right. So here's the thing. As you think of your dream now, right now, think of your dream. Be brave. No one's listening. No one's watching. Bring to mind that dream. What is it? What is that dream? And give yourself permission for it to grow. Give it permission to grow and glow. Saying this or something better. And the thing is, it will just get better and better. Now, when you take that dream, it's not about the how. Really? Not about the how, Cluffy? Well, how am I going to get there? The how comes second. And I'll explain that in a minute. But I will deal with the how, but that's going to be in the next episode or two. And it won't be goal setting, by the way, because we've done goal setting and goal achievement. This is a different type, but I'll give you the how to really get this overnight success, because it's going to take a bit of time. So if it's not about the how, what is it? You see, I think everyone can learn the how. That's the easy part. How to get your dreams. Really? Yes, absolutely. And it will be like a hero's journey. Because you will get that pull, the excitement. You'll get the obstacles that come along your way. You'll get the naysayers. But you'll get the mentors, the teachers that come along the way. And you get that by finding your why. And it's not just the why as in, oh, let's make a list of values. We've done that. It is interesting, of course. You've got to know why it's bloody important to you. Because when you find the why, it's a motivation that's pulling you towards that success, as opposed to pushing, because pushing is bloody hard. Being pulled towards something is so much easier for you to do, because it's the thing that's pulling you towards it, not you trying to push towards it. So the why is important, but it's a different sort of why. I want you to think in a different way, because we've said it before and so many other people have said it. And I think I first heard it with Tony Robbins saying, we so overestimate what we think we can do in the short term. We think we can do this, and this. And when it doesn't work, because we've overestimated, we've got overwhelmed, we've got that sense of failure, because we're looking at it as failure, not feedback, because we're just not achieving what we wanted to achieve, because we've overestimated what we can do in the short term. But what we do also, we underestimate what we can do in the longer term. And when we get that balance right, man, that longer term actually then comes even quicker. And although I said, mine's a 25-year journey, 25-year adventure, but it has been a wonderful adventure all the way along. Even some of those obstacles at the time, yeah, they were difficult, but I needed to go through that difficulty to learn. So I want to do this in a different way. I want you to think a little bit, why it's important to you. But let's do something in a way that I want you to think of flying into the future. Now, I know the future doesn't exist. Time is, it's just nothing, is it? Because there is only the now. But to think of the future, we can then start to plan. That's where the how comes in. But first of all, I want you just to think. Think if you could imagine the direction of your future. Just think of it now. If your future was a line away from your body in some direction, which way would you point towards your future now? That's right, do it now. No one's looking. Well, even if they're looking, it doesn't matter. Just point out that direction. And notice whether it's just at an angle or is it up in the air or where it is, whichever direction you point is absolutely perfect because it's your timeline of the future. And what I want you to do is do some, imagineering. So it's safe to do so. You can do this with eyes open. But if you could, you can do it with eyes closed because it just takes the distractions away. But don't worry about it. If it's eyes open, I do this with either eyes open or eyes closed. I prefer eyes closed because then I can really put my total focus and attention to it. But I want you to think, just if you could, if it's safe to do so. It's not hypnosis, by the way, but it is your imagination inside. So with your eyes closed, if that's okay, get in touch with that timeline of the future. The one that just goes all in that direction. And as you look out there, just imagine for the moment you could float up out of your body just for a moment or two. And just as you float out, you become dissociated, you see. So you're dissociated and you can start to see things without the emotion. Because I want to see it without the emotion first, and then we'll plug into that emotion. So if you were to look out to your future, and you bring this goal to mind, this dream, let's call it a dream. But this time, as you look out in the future, just imagine a year away. You can see a year away in the future. Maybe you float out above your timeline of the future to a year away. And that dream has begun. It started way back then, a year ago. And you're looking down now. Now, you may not see it in total, but you get a glimpse of what you've achieved, where you might be going. But just at the moment, this is your unconscious mind to get an idea of what would be the possibilities, the options that are now occurring, now being attracted to you by having gone on this adventure, by taking your time, doing the things that are right for you. And just notice what it would feel like. You might not know what the results are, but just imagine feeling the emotion up here of having achieved a whole year's worth of success with your adventure, your dream. And your unconscious mind can notice the resources that it used to get here. The things you learn, how you'll use those learnings, all that feedback, because sometimes we'll go in maybe the wrong direction for a little bit, but the feedback will get us back on track. And then imagine floating out 5 years into the future. What are all the possibilities now that you could be doing having been on this dream for 5 years? How many new people would you have met? What new things have you experienced by being on this adventure, this dream? I wonder now, out here, 5 years into this dream, how this dream has grown bigger, brighter. What is this dream now pulling you towards that's even greater? Maybe just think of all the people you've affected and infected with your enthusiasm. What are the opportunities that you're attracting now and have attracted? And your unconscious mind can really go into all the things that would have got you here. The consequences of wonderful learnings and actions towards this dream. Maybe your career has changed. Maybe your relationships have grown so rich. New people, new friendships, new loves. Maybe there's people that you've served and helped along the way. People you've inspired. And I want you to look along that timeline of the future and know there's another 5 years or 10 years in the future now. If you carry on 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years of all the things you couldn't imagine back then at the start have now come to fruition, more than you could ever imagine. And imagine standing at that part of your timeline 25 years from way back then, having been on this adventure, creating so many wonderful things. What would that feel like to have succeeded in such a way? Even though you might not really understand all the things you've learned to get here, all the experiences, but just know that you've done it. What would it feel like to have it even more than you thought ever possible? And as you have that feeling, bring it back over the 15 years, over the 10 years, over the 5 years, all the way back to right now and into your body. And feel it. Feel it so much. Feel the sense of achievement. All the things that you created and will create, because by coming back into your body at this very moment, you are now at the cause of the success of this dream. And as you think now, your why is it so important to take the first step? And it is an adventure of steps. Small steps to start off with that will maybe go into a skip and then a jump and then a run, and then maybe you'll just pause and soak up the moment. Pause and review how far you've come, where you're going, what you're going to achieve, because now you have that confidence in your competence, your confidence in yourself, because you're developing into who you really are. You're expressing who you really are. This dream is yours and yours alone. Yeah, there'll be some naysayers, as I say, but you'll just brush them aside. Because this is what you want to have for you and others. Others will get the benefit of it. But think of that dream now. See a picture of you now, a movie screen over there, having achieved the first year's worth of that dream. Remember, in the short term, we overestimate. But in a year's time, I wonder how you've grown, what you'll be doing, what you'll be seeing, who you'll know, who have taught you, the mentors that come your way, and you as a mentor and a teacher too. because you'll be doing what you know and knowing what you do because you're the master of being you. Yeah. So really feel the feeling of why it's so important for you to feel you're living such a rich life because you deserve it, and whatever you think you are, you're more than that. And just hold on to that feeling. I know it's quite okay every now and again to imagine what it would be like having that dream already. So you feel the feeling of the wish fulfilled, because that feeling of the feeling of the wish fulfilled is what you'll bring to every step, because that's what makes every step so much more easier. It's as if you've got untold energy, because that feeling of the wish fulfilled will spur you on. It will get you through the obstacles. It will get you past the naysayers. It will attract the mentors, the opportunities. So hold on to that feeling. And we'll go more into this. We will. But for the moment, begin to think of a belief you'll have about yourself that would support you through this, and say it out loud every day, because you deserve it. So what I would suggest is that you say that belief every day. You think every day, just for a few minutes, to picture that successful outcome of your dream, your desires, the direction you're heading, what it will feel like when you get there, the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and then charge your next step. Now, we haven't gone through those steps. If you look through some past episodes here, you'll find some goal setting in a different way and all that stuff. Please go and search for those episodes, because there's some really good information there. And then in an episode or two's time, I'll go through the how to take this feeling of the why, the wish fulfilled, and start to get you in a way that you can then really find what you need to help you on your way. It won't be goal setting, but it's the why that will drive you forward, and the how will naturally come in 2 episodes' time. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you like the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Please dream big. And when you dream big, double it. It would be awesome, because that's what you deserve. So please do that. Dream big as you can, bright as you can. Imagine everything and all the feelings that go with it. And when you do it with that sense of selfless service, of helping people along the way, being kind, loving, it just means it's going to get there quicker. The steps are going to get better, bigger, and you can enjoy every moment. And that's what we want to do here, enjoy every heartbeat. Please share this episode. So let's get other people really motivated and understand that they can do anything. It just, sometimes the adventure takes a bit of time, which is good, because we want to savor all the good feelings in the moment, in the now, because it will be better than the feeling of the wish fulfilled, because that's what happens. So please share this with people you know, people who've got dreams, people who've got unrealized dreams, so we can get them to realize them. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And if you want to leave a comment, you can, but that's hard work, isn't it? Typing up a comment. But if you could subscribe, that would be awesome. So share, subscribe, that's the pay it forward. And if you want anything, or if something in this episode that I haven't communicated in a way that is, understandable, let me know. Feedback at personaldevelopmentunplugged.com. Email me with a question, any feedback, and we'll get on it. Because these are all these subjects are either from questions I've been asked or things I found, and they all come together. So please do all of that Enjoy every heartbeat, as I said. And as Tony Robbins said, live with passion. I love wallow in passion. Wallow in joy. And maybe your unconscious mind, the unconscious mind, will surprise them for feeling happy for no reason. There you go. We'll leave that with you. And now you can fly.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.